because they're 8-1 in their last 9 appearances on Lotus. I think it's a must-win map for Twisted Minds, though, to go forward through the series. And they looked great on it the other day.
And
I think it will go head-to-head, by the way.
Yeah,
I think it will go head-to-head.
Oh, like it's a close game?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you. And looking at the comps, what do we think?
I'm excited to watch LaRock on Raze. I think that this year he hasn't played it like he's usually not on the Raze, but he's been switching a bit more towards Duelist, and his firepower is insane. So I want to see that from him today.
He can make the monkey moves too great with Raze.
And on Twisted Minds, this is looking like a familiar comp. We've seen this comp many times. Are you guys surprised that teams are still going with this comp? It's, you know, it's like maybe easier to counter?
A little bit. Killjoy is, I think, so strong on Lotus, and everyone can play Killjoy easily, taking alarm bot on C, long doing turret on B. They're just taking info on map with Killjoy.
So you think that's gonna be an important player, you think, for them, the Killjoy?
Yeah, Killjoy.
Getting too much space with the Killjoy.
Yeah,
it's
too
easy
much
to take space.
And what do you think, Mini? Because I believe you had a part into coming up with this comp. You were...
no, not really.
No, it wasn't you?
Anders did it for me.
I was going to give you an opportunity to take credit, but it's fine. Thank you so much, Yusuf, for joining us. Have a good rest, you know? Have a good rest couple of days. We'll see you here for the next one. And for now, since Pansy and Hypoc don't want to be the adults in the building, surely Mitch and Tom, you're going to give us some very adult takes.
Oh, without a doubt, Sue. That's why we brought Tom in today. He's got the adult takes for days. We'll go through those as the game goes on. Maybe you want to start us with a prediction, Tom. BBL versus Twisted Minds. Who's taking the desk
has swayed me. It's obviously going to be BBL Pacific.
Really? Yeah. I was surprised to see the desk go so heavily into BBL Pacific's camp, you know? Obviously, they've liked what they've seen on the server, I suppose.
Yeah, we need to get ourselves a MENA representative on the desk ASAP just to give them a little bit of a chance. But no, I do think that BBL Pacific come up against anybody in this tournament. They are the favorites. I think they've proven that all the way through. I think they believe that. I think if you were here last year, you would have believed that. But I have been really impressed with Twisted Minds. I think they've come in. Obviously, they were playing in their own region until Challengers 3, and then came and actually did very well. Like, showed everybody that we're not just another MENA team who's going to come in and potentially finish in last. We're going to do some damage. And while speaking of damage, this has already started off with a bang.
Yeah, we've already got the opening pick. Lovers Rock down and out of the action. BBL Pacific adjusting with a deep play to the C site. They're already in the attacker's spawn, and they'll have an early flank towards this B site. Not only that, but the Vice Wall contains them. It stops Twisted Minds from going back towards main. Sure, what it also does, I suppose, as they get close, the steps are heard. Those players now on the C site. The plant there, 3 defenders on their tail quickly, but Twisted Minds are taking deep spawn control on the other side.
They've got so much space. You could even question if this was an afterplan for B with how far some of the players are forward. It's definitely going to make it that little bit more difficult, especially for Loiter. Maybe not. A wonderful shot to take out Zemo. Jesse's still going, and the defuse is already beginning. They have managed to get this one to half, but the nade will deny anything further, at least for now. Buying them an extra little bit of time, and LaRock, a man you always have to be careful of. The diffuser was underway, but he has time to let go and finish off the remainder. From a 5v4 and a retake that, I'll be honest, looked incredibly rough, LaRock shines as always.
As always, indeed. You know, when it comes to Tier 2 players right now and sort of having eyes on them for who's going to be in VCT next year, for who's going to be a big pickup in the coming years, I suppose, who's heating up in that system, it seems like LaRock is in that conversation far more often than not.
I can add to that. I spoke, obviously, to all of the players before the tournament, and I think he was named by almost everybody, and the ones who didn't name him were like, well, I don't just want to name LaRock. Like, that was basically how it went. It was like, yeah, I would say LaRock, but I'm going to name someone else, so I'm a bit different. Like, the guy, like, whether or not they win this tournament, which I think a lot of people believe they will, he will be in Tier 1.
Yes, without a doubt from the conversations we're hearing. The question is really who's going to get him, or will BBL Pacific be able to keep him by locking in that slot?
They'll hope so.
Team through. They will definitely hope so. It's been a fantastic player to be scouted out by this roster, I suppose. Led by an experienced IGL like Rose. They've been able to do a lot, not just with individuals, but as a team. And starting us out here, a 1-0 lead. And a weak find for Twisted Minds that's already seen so many of them fall. It should be an easy conversion. With the investment here from BBL Pacific, they've left practically no margin for error. A lot of credits put in. In fact, between the 5 of them, they have 100 credits left over. This is a huge investment. And without even losing a player so far, that's going to stand to them. A very strong buy for the next round. Question is, can Twisted Minds make this costly? Can they drop some of these weapons? It's a difficult task, especially with 2 left and Zemo on 35 HP.
It's basically on Jesse to do so
left.
with the Sheriff. Like, I don't think there's any other way. The classic player and Zemo are incredibly low.
Not ready yet. Landing. Good hit.
Now, interestingly, from talking to Exit, did give Zemo as his player to watch, which I was a little bit surprised about, especially he's talked about himself as, I want to be the guy to be the best player in the world, so I kind of expected him to have that little, like, I'm going to choose me. But he didn't. He said that Zemo is one of those players who's had to play a lot on higher ping, and he thinks that if anybody comes up against Zemo on 0 ping and he's holding an angle, they are dead. So that's a player I definitely want to keep an eye on going forward, because I think that when you talk about the highlights across the board, you'll sometimes see Sand play a bit more of an aggressive role. Maybe you'd have highlighted him. I think Exit's obviously a good one. And then the 2 non-MENA players are always going to be highlights, but definitely interesting talking points going into this one. But the main one is now going to be this bonus round where they did keep all of those weapons, Mitch.
Yes, indeed. Like we said, this is going to give them the ability to take whatever fights they want. Now, if you're playing ranked, the Spectre, it's very strong right now, but we are on the old patch, so it's...
even stronger.
No. That's not true. It's not quite as much of a beamer as we'll see.
That's not how you normally say it. You normally hate this gun.
The weapons, it's dog water right now in this patch that we're looking at.
Okay.
But yeah, the new one, it is actually
So if someone
strong.
does something with the Spectre here, you're going to be really impressed.
I will. I genuinely will. It's not a likely contender for a big play of the round. Now already you're seeing some of the utility used up by Twisted Minds clearing out some control, but it doesn't look like they're going towards the A site where they've already forced the hand of BBL Pacific into the rotations. This will now be a hit to the B site. Nice and easy with the paranoia. The plan's coming down. But they need a foothold, somewhere to play from. Main's being challenged. They don't have control towards the spawn. Where do they fight?
Oh, for now, they've still got that lurk back. That's one of the main pieces that could cause issues on the rotation for BBL Pacific. Exit up close. A little bit of a combination of utility, the flash, Sublime, but Exit holds the line. Even still, though, they are starting to lose members, and the nade directly on won't even have time to explode before Loiter takes off both heads. It's the double L's handing out L's. I've just realized there's 3 of them, but that's not the point. BBL Pacific, 3-0 up.
Yeah, 3-0, a triple L really on the board for the side.
There were 3 Ls. There were
go.
the 2 Ls getting the kills, and then the L of me not realizing there's a third person with an L.
There you go. I love this from BBL Pacific, the patience. They have Loida sitting outside C, swinging open that door, meaning the Twisted Minds don't even attempt to take that main control. You have the 2 players passive up in heaven, holding onto their util until Twisted Minds have already burned up like their Cs, and a lot of that util that they're going to use to oppress. The paranoia is already gone from Twisted Minds. They've got a player lurking outside A, but Kreven was so patient in not over-rotating. Like, it was just such a passive play, a slow play from the defensive side that gave them a huge advantage. Now, Paranoia burned up early, but the showstopper still fired in. He keeps going. LaRock still pushing forward, and sure, he'll go down, but the rest of the squad is with him. They're picking up kills across the board. Exit, showstopper of his own. 2 players grouped up. He'll find the first of Rose. A triple kill. Looking for more, and he's found it. An ace needed, but it's a 1v1 with Kreven. The spike down, but that shouldn't play a role. The only downside is he has to cross back, and if Kreven's patient and holds this angle, he will catch him crossing. Exit has to be looking the right way. He's found him, but it will be a reset from Kreven. He's not taking the fight here and now.
Yeah, the fight happened so early into the round that there isn't really a rush needed for either side. Interestingly, Kreven's gone running all the way across the map. That was where he had a lot of his trigger utility as well. Maybe just trying to reset the fight across the map, but now knowing that there's nobody here, but when he does finally realize where his opponent has gone, well, you'd expect that spike to have been ticking for a while, but of course, Exit's not taking any risks here, taking a lot of time to just clear out every single angle within the site. And now at least the information will be there for Kreven, that the spike is down, but he's going to have to start his long rotation back. And I'll be honest, by this point, I feel like Exit should have an idea that he could have gone all the way around.
Well, especially when he clears the spawn now. When you don't see him here, there's not many options left for where Kreven can be. That timing looks perfect. He's seen the utility thrown. All the information there for Exit. What a play in main this was, and his 5th seems just moments away. Kreven under pressure with time, and Exit will take him down. An ace to put the first round on the board for Twisted Minds.
It's safe to say the man can talk the talk, but the fact is he can walk the walk as well. An ace that was pretty much necessary for them to win the round. A 1v2 even in the mix of it, even after Loiter had such an incredible start to this round, and after a troublesome round number 3, for him to be able to step up and already get his 8th kill. That's everything Twisted Minds wanted and more. Of course, for BBL Pacific, they won their bonus. So there is still a buy here. And in fact, they've even been able to afford an operator.
It's a big investment, big battle towards the C site. Found, taken over by BBL Pacific.
Didn't even see Jesse.
Wanted to take that control on A. With him in the ground, in the dirt, it's a 2 versus 4. And in terms of what they've got to work with, at least the Prowlers to pave a way for this squad. Utility going down at a bad moment. Rose is already passed. I don't know how much of a role that's going to play.
Yeah, he's expecting that maybe they're going to rotate back that way. Obviously, if the util comes back online, you know someone's moved into the angle. Smoke put onto the turret as well. It's going to make sure that that information hasn't gone through, but it doesn't matter. Sam was pushing anyway. The turret went offline. It just is the realization there, and too little, too late from Sikri. That will be a 4th round onto the board, and I don't know if that Larocque kill was as snappy as I thought it was, but I'm not going to lie, I didn't even see Jesse walk through the smoke. He did.
That was pretty snappy, actually.
I literally, in the moment, I was like, wait, there was someone there? I've got a map, I've got X-ray. But no, Larocque sees things that you can't.
I think the timeout here from Twisted Minds makes perfect sense, right? They've just come in, won a round with an ace, and then gotten crushed like that with an immediate shutdown of all map control. They fight for Mound, they get destroyed. They look back for space on A. They find that Lover's Rock is almost in their spawn with an operator. At that point, it is very much time to go back to the drawing board. And I think something that we talked about with Ulf, certainly in their opening matchup, they looked so oppressive to play against. And I think we're seeing that same Turkish flair to how BBL Pacific are playing right now. Twisted Minds can't get comfortable, and they need this timeout to adjust.
Well, this is the tough thing. Like, if you've ever spoken to Rose, you know the confidence that they have in themselves. Like, they firmly believe that they are better than everyone else in every capacity. Be it the calls that they make, the aim that they have. I don't think anybody's been questioning the aim, for sure. Like, both Loiter and Larocque have been utterly destroying within the league that we know to have the best aim. Like, they're coming in as, if anything, it's maybe a slight step down in individual ability on the opposite side of the server. So it's definitely going to be difficult for Twisted Mind. And I think especially on your own map choice, like going into Haven, it's going to be tough. That's where it's the map where they can have the most success in that early aggression. But this is the map that Twisted Minds have been utterly dominant on. Like, it was mentioned by Mini on the desk, 8-1. I think even over the last few months, it goes further than that, 11-1. Like, they are truly on a phenomenal run on this map, but
my ultimate's ready.
Don't think they've played a team quite like BBL Pacific.
No. Let's see if they've made the adjustments. That shot doesn't land, and that's a lifeline for Twisted Minds. They could have lost Exit, the player who put that round on the board for them. It was with the showstopper, and it's nearly back online again, 3 points away. Well, BBL Pacific now left to look for a response. They've lost control of C. They retake that now with 2 players in position. The wall is here as well, though, don't forget. So in terms of information across the map, they're missing it. So the Prowler goes out, clears B. Now the rotation from Rose, too. They're going to have 3 in position on this C site. Up close to Larocque. The only death he's had was when he was looking the other way, but he's blinded up and finally taken down. Rose! Well, he's just gone marching through to find that opening, and they're kept back by the Steel Garden. Left down to pistols. Twisted Minds have to wait.
Another smoke goes down, but this is the problem. They didn't managed to even get past the Vice wall yet. So they have to get the timing right on this push. They have to do it almost all at once, otherwise they're going to have one player isolated with the spike, and that's almost certain death. And well, they still didn't manage to get past the wall, but they have found a couple of picks, and in fact, Sikri's going to close it out. Great work from Sand. That rotation all the way back round was everything, because that was looking like another troublesome scenario.
Yeah, I think just a great reaction to the fact that Rose had sent out that Prowler towards B and then was on this C site for the fight, immediately realizing that, okay, there must be space elsewhere and we're being stopped. And so Sand is sent out to try to find that space and does remarkably well with it. I think that's going to be BBL Pacific adjusting that wall, the C site hold with numbers and a Vice wall, a little bit of overcommitment, and that gap in information is what caused them the round. So yes, the wall's back on B, 3 players on Mound. This kind of fight has already worked wonders for BBL Pacific in the early stages, but they see nobody. And with the presence towards this A site, again, there's going to be this big rotation.
Oh, nice shot from Exit. Had the read on the aggressive position of Lover's Rock.
2 in a row.
Yeah, he's been punished a couple of times now, and that's an important battle because it removes a lot of the information. Like, you're already seeing early utility going out from Rose to try and give them information alongside that aggressive Yoru push, but you take out the Yoru and the utility's already been used. They need something else. That something else is the TP, so there you go. From the Shadows utilized. They now know that they are still outside A, but with how much time is left on the clock, I'm maybe thinking that was a little bit early.
That looks like Twisted Mind's still going to play into it, though. It's Larocque that falls. The showstopper from Exit. Last time it was an ace. Oh. He's on for a 3K. It could be another on the board. Exit's having a field day out here. 12 and 5 at the moment.
He's good with the gun and the showstopper. He doesn't need to be good with the nade. Like, come on. You guys can't have everything, all right? 2 of the 3's fine. He's got 12 kills. Who cares?
Well,
it's clear anyway. Look, there wasn't even anyone there. And he knew that after he looked.
It's a little unfortunate.
That's also, by the way, to state the obvious, his second showstopper already.
Yes.
Like it is round 7. I'd say there's a lot of players who don't even get one showstopper at that time.
And I mean, the good thing to look at as well is each time he's had that showstopper online, he's been the only one on Twisted Minds to find a kill in that round. An ace and now a 3K.
See, you say that it's a good thing when they win the round. If they don't win the round, that's not a good thing.
Oh, yeah, it would be awful. They've won both rounds.
So far, yeah.
All good.
Of the 2 times.
5 for 5, 3 for 3.
That has happened. But.
And I think more importantly than that, though, because that's kind of a BS stat. It's that pick there. It's the fact that now 2 times in a row we saw the same.
Also, when he just walks in.
It's a dry peek into the op, and he takes him down. No,
really?
That,
he gets 3 kills, and we're slowing that down?
And then the same thing, so that happened towards C, and we saw it just there again. It's not like he's getting a flash into the angle, like Lover's Rock is paranoid or caught rotating. The dude's just swinging the op, taking him down.
This is like watching CNED Jet Lotus, where it's like a lot of the plan seems to revolve around this man just out-aiming people, which is a bold strategy when you're playing against BBL Pacific, but for him at least, it is working.
Yeah, you've got limited initiation util, I suppose. Oh my goodness. BBL Pacific initiating a fight towards C. They found themselves a double and happy with that advantage. They will fall back. This is a round where they've got next to nothing to work with, and they managed to find a huge advantage, not only in the fact that they're in a 5 versus 3, and obviously the gun's not quite retrievable, but they've taken Exit out, and he has been the one reason that Twisted Minds are looking so good. Now we need another hero.
So he has 12 kills. I think the next player on the team has 3.
3, I think, yeah.
Maybe 4 now. I'm not sure how many. Nope. No, never mind, still 3. But that's one of the guns gone. Loiter fallen. I wonder if it's just going to be aggression for information, but also that gets an extra rifle for Lover's Rock. Allows them to at least clear a little bit of extra space. 35 seconds on the clock, but they do still have plenty of space towards C. Sand has just been waiting on that lurk.
30 seconds left.
And with the wall now moved to B, they will eventually have the information over on the Pacific side, but by that point, I was going to say the afterplant will be in, but actually they are already here.
It was a flash, right? I just about caught Jesse, so Kraven should have gotten that information. That's a crazy swing from Sand. He's gone in, found a lot of them, and allowed this TP. The plant will come through for Twisted Minds. A lot of this plant looks at Sikri. He is so late to the party, but in his way, not just Thorns, but also the wall. Even though he waits this out, they're going to immediately know that he's here. And now that flank, what was really the hope of this round, gone. Jesse's going to have a hell of a hold. His teammates with him. The shots don't land to start. There's a side swing in from Kreven. And he's just tickling them up, knowing he doesn't need to commit to the fight. The spike is being defused, and the round connected by Loroc's 3K, but it really wasn't in doubt at that point. Another on the board for BBL Pacific, but this round really wasn't the one where I thought they'd step up to the plate.
No, I think they did really well with the early aggression, and from that point onwards, like the ultimate usage of the dimensional drift, just getting them extra info, having that flash go off, as you said, that allowed them to rotate back again. And as that was happening, you could see just their opponents being chipped away piece by piece. Also a very aggressive attempt by Sand that didn't pay off. 5-3. BBL Pacific can be relatively happy with this. Again, they're going for this early aggression. It's the same sort of fight that we've seen from them already. Loiter, he's getting cheeky over the last couple of rounds. The jump peek in the last one, and the attempted aggro in this one, failing, but they are still even.
Yeah, it feels like that top roble spot just is not working out at all. Every single time that one of the BBL Pacific players steps into that spot, they step out of the round within seconds. And this is going to be a problem. Lover's Rock forced offside.
He's got to just leave.
Should be free A control, early flank, but it's being watched. Potential, though, to catch them. I mean, these two players on Rubble, they have to cross over to that door. It's swinging wide open, but here comes the showstopper, hunting them down.
Oh, they
Will
missed
the right
one.
be checked, though? Larocque hasn't cleared it out. Sikri on the sidelines, picked up one, and Jesse does the same, trading out that ulti. Another missed shot for Lover's Rock, and he was 51 HP. And even committing the Viper's Pit, showing some respect, but more so showing how important this round is for Twisted Minds to connect. 5-4 on the board. They are not letting BBL Pacific run away with this one.
Yeah, solid round from Jesse, but also, again, I think we've seen the C site aggression work out wonderfully for BBL Pacific. The A site hasn't really been working anywhere near as well. They're missing a trick on catching the player. Definitely caused them issues, but also left the remaining players isolated. 5-4. A lot of the time you do see very heavy attack side victories for Twisted Minds on this map, especially when you go back to challenges that they played in. Looking like a potential more direct aggressive hit into B. After getting the open up, they fall back.
Going to leave Sand deposited towards B, trying to catch these players re-aggressing. He's heard the steps as well. Moving away, they've heard the TP. This B site looking nice and open. Sand can make a big play if there's anything left to do. No. Sikri and Exit have cleaned up, and Lloyd is left to save. Yeah, great positioning from Sand, but the round's already done. Wonderful resurgence from Twisted Minds. They started this game out looking like they weren't on the server. They had a 3-1 deficit with an ace being the reason they put around the board.
They were a one-man band. Like, he was walking around with the little boots that play the drums and like had the cymbals out. But eventually, he's been able to give over the harmonica to one of the other players. And
lighten the load.
I think Sikri's had a big step up over the last couple. Like being able to just sort of hold important angles. Like while they're planting, he catches the players rotating in. In the round before, he was the one that held the lurk and made sure, okay, they know there's a showstopper, but also got rid of the info. And in this case... Oh, Loiter trying to hold on to the gun, and while Exit's not going to allow that, nice little bait as well to help in the end. He really has, like, this is something I'll always say. I love a player that talks smack or even talks themselves up. Yeah. I think it's great. I actually don't care at all if they deliver. It is sometimes funny if they don't. Yep. But this man coming in here, he said, my goal is not to be the best in Ascension, make it to VCT, any of these other things. The goal to be the best in the world. And right now, he's looking damn good. Best in the world, he got some way to go. Sure. But at the same time, 19 years of age. By the way, started, I think his first game on VLR, he was 14. Yeah. Which is literally someone who is, well, when you see someone who's 19, you don't go, oh, they're a day one player. But he is a day one player, invested in this game since the very beginning. And yeah, he talks the talk and he walks the walk. 16-7. He is, even though other players have started to step up, he is the reason this scoreline is level.
He's 16-7. The team has 31 kills. He is responsible for more than half of the deaths put on the board for BBL Pacific. Like, and not just that, like, you know, okay, he's had 2 showstopper kills in there, relatively easy, about to have another showstopper online. But it's
slowed down a bit though.
It's picking off Lover's Rock the way that he is. Lover's Rock is 4-7. He's had the op in a number of rounds. He's been in the right position to catch the players off in a number of rounds. Bodies have come towards him. He hasn't been flashed off the angle. He hasn't been pushed back or blocked by utility, but he has been dry swung and headshot. And if you're able to do that consistently, you know, it's not a game plan most coaches are going to sign off on, but hell, in his case, why not? The guy is hitting. He's even got, I love this buy, actually. He's 1 away from a showstopper, and he's coming in. Is he actually keeping it? He is. He's gone for the Outlaw. They have money for a rifle here. I don't even know if he has one dropped for him behind, because he knows that they're going to be playing light shields. They haven't got a lot of credits to work with on BBL Pacific, so this weapon is a 2-shot up, and it's already found one.
Yeah, it's easy pickings. We see teams do this when they maybe have the expectation of light shields, but maybe not so much in a case where there's 2 rounds left and you have thousands and thousands of credits in the bank, but clearly confident. And after already catching out LaRock, who has been phenomenal, would be the best player in the server if it wasn't for Exit himself.
He certainly was at the start of the game, but that has taken a turn for the worse for BBL Pacific. Twisted Minds showing that they're here to play, here to win, and the A site still seems to be their target. Now, BBL Pacific have done well on those low buys, but those were low buys where they had 2 rifles, where the 2 rifles found the initial kills as well, the initial combat. Now it's going to be on Lover's Rock, and finally takes Exit down. It's with the Stinger on the side. We almost saw disaster for Twisted Minds, but well, they have gone from strength to strength, evidently. Exit down, the rest of the squad pipes up.
It's going to feel a little bit hard done by, because he hit the shot, it just was through a wall. It wasn't quite enough, but hey. It's also really interesting the way they're playing, because a lot of the time you're going to have a duelist where you have the... that was on. Where you have these like utility setups where it's like, okay, we're going to throw everything we've got. We're going to have a flash. We're going to have a prowler. We're going to have a reveal, and then you're going to go in and get the kill. These are literally just Exit dry swinging and then people trying to trade. And he's been good enough that so far that has been enough to win them the majority of their rounds. 6-5, same fight, but the fight is expected. Showstopper used immediately. Is he going to try and get the player in the corner? He will. Clever. Craven out. Didn't even get to see anyone. Utility gone, but a counter Nightfall thrown in. Exit not afraid. He's gone all the way through. Now, they'll know this. The trail gives this away, but his teammates now following up afterwards and just carries on the run. It's a one-man show on the entries into this site. Rock from behind. How's he hit that? I know he died, but how did he hit the headshot?
Well, he needed another one, didn't he? Low HP on a few players, damage done, but for BBL Pacific, a scoreline that started firmly in their favor has now been flipped into the hands of Twisted Minds. They are leading 7-5 at the half. And we'll find out whose map Lotus will be after the break.
Player standing.
20-8 leaving that first half. There's a reason that everyone's talking about Exit as the best duelist. And, oh, no, that's LaRock. And he's having a tough time so far. Lover's Rock being shut down by this guy as well. I mean, Exit has just been lighting up the kill feed, and he's the first guy in. You talk about duelists on the attack side. Well, now he's on the defense, where typically they'll feel a little bit more comfy to take their own fights when they don't have to trade their life for space. But, well, Exit was trading his opponent's life for space in that first half.
Yeah, even still, though, like, there's very high expectations of the attack side coming out from his squad of BBL Pacific, especially when you have this double duelist explosive composition of LaRock and Lover's Rock. We'll see if they can make this one work.
Not to be confused with GB's friend, The Rock.
Well, that's, to be honest, that's still my... I still think we should call him Dwayne LaRock Johnson. I don't know. I think that should stick.
Well, we'll see. We can ask him about it, how he feels in the current era of rock mythology. 7-5. Pistol here for Twisted Mind's going to send them way into the lead. A lot of players from the defense in position towards this A site, looking for a fight, but they're pushed back here by Aziz. And now the nade's going to follow it up, forcing them into the open. LaRock takes down Exit with that nade, but the trades come back even.
Zemo back on the board after a tough half. This is going to open up a path to the A site. After plant. Guaranteed. C's has done a lot, but there's not really anything to follow up on it. They're just going to hold Rose in position, and to be honest, he's quite content holding the position himself. Zemo into the smoke, already lost. Loiter again, another high impact frag from him. Jesse's just been waiting, but the second that smoke fades away, so do the players on the other side. He at least knows where one of them is. Has he spotted Rose? It seems like he may have caught an angle, but it doesn't matter. The IGL is going to leave this down to 1. Zikri versus 3, and while there is no hope of them taking that one home. A close 3v3, but from that moment onwards, plain sailing.
Well, that's 2 pistols for BBL Pacific, and yet they need to convert versus what should be the on what should be the anti-eco in order to just put them even 7-7. I gotta say, for the half that Twisted Minds just had, they're looking a little irritated. What are you seeing?
Twisted Minds in the lead. That doesn't matter.
Yeah, 1 for BBL Pacific to equalize Twisted Minds. I like the idea. I'm gonna set up with a little high-low, high and higher. 4 players, classics. Pretty good chance if BBL Pacific go walkabouts. I suppose really, though, if they do go this way, yeah, Boombot's going to go through. Landing a little bit of information. It's only shot by the 1 player, though. They're keeping the cards close to their chest on the defensive side, but BBL Pacific, they've made the right gamble.
Unless Zikri goes ham. Yeah. Which he probably won't. Well, good timing. Lover's Rock has eliminated him within a second. And this leaves just... Wow. Maybe an orb. That's about it. Anything else is probably just going to be them going down to the spike and... Oh no, they're going directly in towards LaRock. Yeah, I think not wanting to trip the wall, because this is the thing, they do just want to go down. They don't want to fight anybody here. The orbs not wanting to be handed over to someone like LaRock, who, by the way, is now just going in with a ghost, trying to find where those remaining players are. But either way, they kind of have to give things away a little bit. Here he goes. How many is he going to get? That's the first. And these players actually getting a classic or 2 kill of their own. That could have gone a lot worse, honestly. I thought they were all just going to hand over the orbs, but that's fine.
Yeah, LaRock with 1 and a death, halfway to finding himself a showstopper already, which we saw a lot of from Exit. It was a nice little shot from him, but that round really, the second that they avoid the C site, BBL Pacific lock in the round for themselves, unless, as you said, Zikri went absolutely nuclear. For
It would have been cool.
It would have, yeah. For Twisted Minds, decent. They find a little bit of information, but I mean, nothing that you're going to be too surprised at. Look where the Vice Wall is. Sure, it's a normal position for that to be in. This is the round that matters for them. The lead now under threat. A 7-5 at the half, a pistol, a follow-up. It's whatever. Often a coin flip. For the best of teams, it's what, like 55% is kind of the best you can hope for in pistols. Now, this is where the real game begins. BBL Pacific have a lot of firepower brought into this round.
This is sort of the rough thing about it, is that these bonus rounds are deadly. Correct me if I'm wrong, they won round 3 in the last half. They just then lost to an ace.
3-0
the next one
with the ace, yeah.
So they could be getting another boost. Obviously, it was the comeback from Twisted Minds that impressed so much, but it's whether they can still do that on the defensive side, and I don't think they want to lose 3 in a row twice at the beginning of each half. But they're definitely going to make it more difficult for themselves. Jesse and Exit, though, will be the ones under pressure. And wow, Exit again, he just thrives in it.
He's going for more as well. Look at the confidence behind him. Sikri with a double as well. They completely shut that down. A flawless round. Look, they had better weapons, sure, but not by that much. This was Bulldogs, a Guardian. That smoke actually working out for the defense, even though it's in an attacker smoke just with how the blast packs went down. But you got to feel good about that on the defense. It's the first round since, you know, what is often a coin flip, as we said, in the pistol, where you're kind of coming in on relatively equal footing. Again, BBL Pacific didn't look that weak in terms of weaponry. And you're able to come out dominantly like that, build up some credits of your own. So even a loss here, you'll be able to battle back. The lead is back in control for Twisted Minds. It will be, again, pressure towards this A site.
Look at what Exit is.
Is he going to keep going? No, he's staying back. He's not going crazy just yet.
To be honest, I kind of... There's a point where I just go, should you just go for it most of the time? Because he has been ridiculously good.
Fake teleport.
But it's patient. BBL Pacific throwing in a lot of utility to try and clear some of these more aggressive angles. Sikri down, but that man has gone walking through the smoke behind them. A chance for Exit to just take over again!
Down A.
Oh, I said he picked this moment, but that couldn't have been more perfect. He's now going to pop the showstopper once more. It's hit every single time. I don't think it...
No. Oh, that was close.
Far away. If it went a little bit deeper, he would have clipped the wall. But he has the spike. It's dropped. They have to go back for it. The Boombot's going to give the game away. The nade that he got back from the previous couple of kills will hold them for the moment. It's not going to be the second ace, though. Lovers Rock has put him down, and now the rest of the team a little bit further away from him, looking at the position of Sand. It just depends which way they go.
Oh, a TP for Jesse, 2 HP after that first shot landed through the wall, and he ends up being a big factor for Twisted Minds. After Exit goes down and both players are separated, I got very worried for this squad. It looked like, oh, Exit's got to do it all, or the round is done. They're also so slow in rejoining with him, even though they have the spike down, just covering their bases and allowing him to run riot. And it's worked out, 9-7. Economy from Twisted Minds looking nice and healthy now. A lot of players doubled down on credits. And in this round, BBL Pacific don't have a lot to fight with, so a chance for this to get even better for the defensive side.
Retrieving flash.
One man making a name for himself. More importantly, he might just be helping his team make their way through. Of course, the winner of this game makes it into one of those best-of-5 grand finals, an all-or-nothing match that could set you, your team, your organization up for a year in the VCT and everything that comes along with it. Exit is waiting on the edge of the smoke with a shorty in hand. He's not been baited by the smoke, but some nice shots coming out. Now, this is only pistols, Mitch. It's already a bit more costly than they might have liked.
It is starting to get a little bit shaky.
Loiter's got a gun.
Kraven! He's come in with the Sheriff. I'm looking at Loiter, but there's no need. It's the Sheriff doing damage, but they're not looking the right way. Sigri is shut down by Loida. He takes one up top and turns on a dime for the thrifty win. I am going to need to see that one slowed down. That was ridiculous.
Wait, which one? The Kreven shot? The
no,
180
no.
at the
The
end?
Loida on backside.
One enemy remaining.
Oh!
Last player standing.
Look at this!
One
Up
enemy
high,
remaining.
down low,
Thrifty.
just like that. That was beautiful.
He needs to get like some style bonus credits. Can we add that into the game? That won't be broken at all. Like, if you
it's
do
such a
something
cool
really
pivot.
cool, you get extra credits.
Find you.
I'll chip in. Wow, a round that's seemingly integral for BBL Pacific. We started to see Twisted Minds almost look like they had their footing in this half. Some extra style in that one from Exit, but it didn't matter. Loiter has been fantastic as well. Showstopper not going to land though. Good counters in terms of the ultimates. Lover's Rock is going to be taking the space forward, but they are just backing out of this one, looking to play the retake. And in fact, Exit in prime position. He's heard that rotation, and now they're going to have to go back towards the A site, but this time they have a man missing.
The right read by BBL Pacific, 3A, go B. But there's 2B as well, one of which is an op inside of
two
main.
and a half if we're really counting on the numbers. Maybe even 3.
Yeah, that's just 3 in B main. That's just Exit. So the pick goes their way. The op now in the back of the minds of BBL Pacific, and any further aggression they go for, they know they could be running into that big old weapon. Zemo grabs one. That's Larog, big player to drop. Ult from Kreven. The rifle's removed from a lot of Twisted Minds players. It's buying a little bit of time, but that spike is not ticking fast enough to make the defenders worried just yet. They're going to need to start putting boots on the ground, but as they do, it's bodies on the ground. All the bodies of BBL Pacific, just the leader of Rose left, and Zemo shuts him out as well. Double digits found for Twisted Minds.
Save the day.
They've done it the hard way. It looked like that was the result of the previous round, but really well played here. The rotations into the A site, the wrap onto B to have those two players ready for the adjustment. They really had BBL Pacific boxed in from the get-go.
It's also the patience. I think it's an undervalued sort of trait that teams have, where you see that ult come through, there's a very real world where you go, oh, that's going to lose me a load of time on the clock. You panic, you go and you try and take a fight with a classic. They were all happy to just sit back and go, okay, there's only 3 of them left. Let's work this one as a team. Oh, well, after being broken in the last, they have immediately responded. It's definitely going to make the purchase in the next a lot more interesting for BBL Pacific, but again, we're seeing a lot from Twisted Minds that shows that even though they may have been playing in MENA, and I think it's fair to say, like, you look at some of the other teams that potentially could have been here, or even some of the ones that they were playing against in the regional lands, they were far better. They're like, this team is far and above the best team coming out of MENA. But you need to put some respect on their name, because they are not in that same bracket. And it's something that I think they've had to almost prove themselves. It's like, okay, we did it in Challengers, we did it online. I think they even traveled to Turkey to play that online so that their ping would at least be enough rather than playing it in MENA. So they definitely invested in how important that tournament was for them, even though I believe they were already qualified at that point, just wanting that better practice. Well, that practice is shining through. 10 and 8 in the lead against, as said, the team that everybody, or at least in my eyes, should have as favorites here.
Larok onto Exit.
This is their one gun, by the way.
Yeah. The one rifle put in the hands of a man who certainly knows how to use it. Yeah. Look at this push-up from Twisted Minds, from Zemo. He had a big round in the last one. It was a 3K. He's got 6 kills. He doubled up. He's starting to feel a little bit confident. This aggressive angle, though, it could be the end of this hold. It could be another rifle picked up. They know he's here now. Prowler put in, dodges the paranoia, lands one, but that's all he gets.
Enough.
And for BBL Pacific, that's just fine. A little bit of team damage with the tickles. But they're into this site. They've got weapons to work with, but Jesse, he shoots back for 3. And now Loida, with a Sheriff in hand, has got to do it all.
Oh dear, yeah, didn't have the bullets remaining. I am certain for Jesse that almost started off as a whiff and ended up as a 3K. Like the first 15 bullets or so just looked rough. I was definitely nervous. There's this, it's not pretty, and then it just turned into something wonderful. 11 and 8. Their map choice, one that if they were going to have a chance in this series, they needed to win. And our all-Ulf analyst desk predicted would still go the other way, and you can understand why.
You know, when it came to the predictions today, obviously we talked to our analyst desk. I touched base with some of our co-streamers though. I was talking to Ulysses, who you know he's a big brain within the community, and I will say he
predicted Koi about 15 times in a row.
His prediction rate's not great because of Koi, but he did say 2-0 to Twisted Minds. Now I think part of that was because he didn't want to see Andreas break a desk, but look, he's looking like a big brain out there right now. It's 11-8, Twisted Minds in the lead, and BBL Pacific.
They haven't even won the first map yet.
Hey,
you of anyone should know about getting carried away.
I know you're bringing up the Navi game again, and I don't want to hear it. I just want to go one day without it. That's all.
Nah.
But 11-8.
All right, I'll bring it up tomorrow.
This is the chance for BBL Pacific to fight back. If they lose this one, it could well be the end of this map. It is Twisted Minds map pick. You still have Haven and Sunset to come. But considering they were 3-0 down, looking absolutely desolated. Zemo got 1 kill in the first half, and now he's showing up. Exits here again. Twisted Minds looking dominant in a must-win round for BBL Pacific. Lovers Rock against the whole squad, and Exit.
All right.
He's feeling confident. He has given an up to his opponent, but there's only 20 seconds left. The spike is down, and Lovers Rock has no chance of retrieving it.
Yeah, he's going to try and hold on to the operator. He is not going to, though. He is surrounded, completely surrounded. And well, for anybody who wasn't alongside me in the scoreboard warrior stats, that was the 31st kill for Exit in this map. He still has double, well, almost everyone in the server. LaRock is just hanging in there with 16, but it has been an unreal. Well, there you go. The top 2 of the other team, BBL Pacific, by the way, the favorites for the tournament, don't add up to 1 exit.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously no longer double the kills of his whole team put together, so Exit's fallen off. But 31 kills in regulation in a 12-8, what could be a 13-8. The way he's been playing as well, you can even see it just in the showstoppers, how many have been online for this guy. I mean, he's going to be very happy that this one's being streamed. He can go back and find all those replays as well, the different angles. There's been moments for BBL Pacific, but they're going to have to hope that their Haven, which is impressive, it does look good. I think they're in with a very good shot of taking that, but or at least making it look more competitive. But considering how things have gone here, Twisted Minds have really impressed me. And you know, you look at their opening matchup and you think their opponents kind of had a bad day. It doesn't really look like that anymore. Like this squad, they do very much need some respect on their name, and 100%. Exit especially.
Yeah. A lot to do in this round. Exit almost being caught up. He has got his umpteenth showstopper of the map, though. Just wants to retreat. Pick the right moment to use his sand in a great position once more, and an easy double.
30 seconds
Showstopper
left.
may not even be necessary, and Lovers Rock is still lurking on the other side. They are watching for it! Zemo is so ready for that flank. LaRock, a man who is all but ready to join the tier 1. Might just have to wait a little bit longer. Almost walked into the nade, was trying to bait them out. That's one, but it was just a fake, a jump across, and Twisted Minds. Well, there were many who predicted this to be a 2-0. At least they have won themselves the first map, and you can see Exit calm it down. There's still another to come.